कम ज्यादा हो रहा है तो इतना ही रहेगा
95 लोग सर मेन मीटिंग रूम से लोग शिफ्ट कर
Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Sir, it's a request to all the
close.
Mr. Puneet Singh.
So they were facing some kind of an issue to get into the breakout room.
Puneet, can you kindly unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Can you hear us, sir?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Abhijit, can you kindly unmute yourself?
Yes, I am here.
Thank you. So, good morning, everyone, for this post-budget webinar on ease of living using 5G. So, as 5G, we know that it's fifth generation of mobile services that was launched by Honorable Prime Minister on 1st of October during India Mobile Congress. And after that, our telecom service providers have been rolling out the 5G network in various cities. As of now, it's more than 350 cities where the service have begun, and it is going on a daily basis. As we all know, this 5G is envisaged to contribute significantly to the digitalization and industrial application across socio-economic verticals, leading to enhanced industrial productivity. The 5G technology by design have imbibed extreme technology capabilities. Its feature of high reliability and low latency have an added advantage, and that is more important for the real-time traffic control optimization, machine-to-machine communication, emergency and disaster response, smart grid, e-health, industrial communication, and many more applications of this particular feature is giving increased productivity and
I can't hear you.
We can't
There
hear.
has been some issue, I guess. He's left the room.
Yes.
can you hear me again?
Yes, sir. So sorry for the interruption here. I'd again like to reiterate myself. I mean, I'd like to kindly request all the co-hosts to not to use all those functions and all those rights which we have been provided now, and kindly allow the speaker members to finish their talks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I'd continue further. Like DOT from our own this thing, we have started funding startups and MSMEs under DCIS scheme for developing 5G products of core CPs and edge devices and many other use case solutions. We have also started TTDF scheme, that is Telecom Technology Development Fund, for the academia industry for bringing out products and research in the field of 5G and 6G with a long-term vision of positioning India in the global technology landscape. We are all aware that the use cases various fields of the department, various departments, and sectors include agriculture, health, education, power, railways, ports, heavy industry, transport, commerce, mines, tourism, and you name it, it is there. So this year's union budget announced opportunity for deploying 5G labs in 100 academic institutions. And the basic objective was to build a competency of 5G technology in students, academia, and fraternity, enabling projects at undergraduation level and post-graduation level for the students using 5G environment And this 5G course have also been included in their curriculum by AICTE in the engineering stream. The objective is also to encourage academia industry engagement for development of 5G use cases and provide access to 5G test setup for startups and MSME around the institution. So making India academia and startup ecosystem 6G ready. So with these labs, we are expecting the labs can be viewed as a benefit in utilization by the students, faculty, startups, and hands-on 5G learning, testing, development of product, and innovation, and further use cases. The model which we are adopting for creation of the lab is an integrated setup, network technology, IT technology, and for various academic learning and experimentation. It may broadly consist of compact 3GPP compliant 5G network, setup of core and RAM, and 5G student startup development kit for the students and startups for developing innovative applications and services. Management dashboards for viewing, configuring, and controlling network KPIs. 5G devices depending on the use case preference by the institutions that can be latched onto the small mini network. This can be further expanded in due course of time by the innovators who are using these labs and also by the startups for developing their own products. It will give the freedom to explore options to add equipment at different configuration and flavor from our empaneled vendor by the implementation agency. So this will be a digital network of 100 labs. They will be connected all together for sharing of the information and knowledge dissemination, and so that we know how these labs are performing and what are the outcomes of this setup of these labs and how the industry is getting benefited and the vision of industry 4.0. That institution selection will be based on our NIRF ranking, geographical distribution, institutions readiness, and internet availability, tech, manpower, and things like that. All specialized institutions and center of excellences in other discipline shall also be considered for deployment of this 5G use case labs. It may be from other sectors also like health, agriculture, industry 4.0, and transportation, etc. The beneficiary of the institution can have to take care of the safety, security, and maximize the utilization of lab as a part of knowledge dissemination regarding 5G use case being tested and developed for the benefit of other institutions, students, and startups. Hosting the hackathons with the support of implementation agency on requirement basis. So I would like to read the para 73 of a budget announcement, which says Department of Telecom, Department of Higher Education, 5G services, 100 labs for developing applications using 5G services will be set up in institutions to realize a new range of opportunity, business model, and employment potential. The labs will cover, among others, applications such as smart classrooms, precision farming, intelligent transport system, and healthcare applications. So these labs are poised to become a breeding ground for digital transformation for Indian youth. I request academia and industry ecosystem to join hands with DOT in fulfilling the envisaged objectives. I will now hand over to Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy of IIT Madras. Further take up and to ensure use of this budget announcement on 5G use case labs to be utilized by a common man of the country for ease of living through our webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We have lined up very interesting set of presentations today, speakers today. But before we get to that, let me add to what member technology just mentioned, which is that, 5G is certainly 4G, 10 times 4G in terms of if you want to think about it, the width of the highway. If we had 4-lane highways with 4G, you're going to have 40-lane or 50-lane highways with 5G. The increased capacity is coming not a day too soon because, as we all know, India relies primarily on wireless broadband to connect for all its citizens to get connectivity. Not many have alternate wired broadband connectivity at their homes and offices. So this is going to be first and foremost a major improvement. And we're already seeing that as 5G gets rolled out at breakneck speed. This is the very first thing that everybody is seeing. But there is much, much more in 5G. And I think the budget's announcement to create 100 use case labs for 5G applications in engineering colleges across the country has far-reaching vision to unleash the innovative potential that is latent in our youngsters, in our MSMEs, in our industry, to actually come up with as yet unimagined applications. 5G has features which may not be available on day one, but which are going to be available very soon. Features such as the low latency, highly reliable links that was mentioned by the member. So you can get, if you need it, of course, it will take more resources from the network, but those who need it can be provided connectivity with less than 1 millisecond latency. And new concepts like tactile internet, where you can actually carry out operations remotely, which you normally can do only when you are present at that location using your own hands. But you can do that remotely because of the low latency. Just the high speed and sometimes low latency, or even if it's not as low as 1 millisecond, much lower latency than in 4G, can actually make a lot of VR applications.
മീറ്റിംഗ് എത്ര പേര് അറിയാമോ? വേറെ 79 പേര്. ഇല്ല, ഏതാണ്ട് 82, 85, 86. എത്ര കാണിക്കുന്ന? എനിക്ക് നോക്കണം. 93.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yeah, because I got booted out into the waiting room.
All of us. Maybe you can repeat your last sentence so that we can hear.
I stopped immediately after that.
Yeah, Professor, we all actually went back to the main meeting. So maybe you can repeat last sentence so that we can.
I was going to say that, in addition, the 5G has potential to have an impact on livelihoods, because look at a person, especially small companies, MSMEs, very often the key individual, the key people, the experts have to be at multiple places at the same time. They have to keep an eye on their. There is some problem.
Someone's unmuted.
Just one request, Professor, I would like to address our co-hosts not to try to join the session or speak there, because that is going to take you out from that session, and the session is getting only when their turn comes, you will be given that right. I mean, right is there, but you should not try to do it unless you are asked to do that. So kindly restrain to that particular thing so that we are not thrown out of this session room. Thank you.
Shall I continue?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, this can have, a person who's running a enterprise, a very capable person with a lot of domain knowledge, but also running the business, also meeting customers. Literally like we have in our mythology, he or she has to be in multiple places at the same time, or at least monitor what's going on at the same time. I think 5G will enable all these things. So there's going to be a huge impact on livelihoods. And the other aspect of 5G is the capability to actually have more than 10 times or even 20 times the number of devices connected to the network. The number of people in the country doesn't increase so much. The rest of the devices are going to be machine type devices connected to various instruments, cameras. Your car is going to have several devices. Your body may have several devices. There may be devices in your factory. There may be devices in your at other places. So this huge machine type communication is also supported by 5G. So there is a huge unimagined potential for new 5G applications. This is as different from 5G technology, that is the RAN and the core that enables all this. Applications running on this platform. And it is for us, for the young, innovative Indians of today, to develop new applications that have not been thought of elsewhere, because India has so many opportunities. India has so many different needs. India is so diverse. So the idea of setting up these 100 labs is actually to unleash this potential. And today we're going to get a glimpse of what is possible. Speakers who have been lined up have already gone down this road, have developed some interesting, unusual applications. We also are going to hear from the two of the major telecom service providers who are rolling out 5G very quickly on what is going to be possible and what they envision as what they are enabling. So with these speakers, they'll give us food for thought. And I'm hoping that all the participants today will go back thinking about what else may be possible. And when these labs become a reality over the next few months, I think everybody has an opportunity to develop these applications. Many of them will just run on normal phones. Some of them may require custom hardware to be developed. But these labs will enable all of them to be tested and then brought to market. So that is the far-reaching vision that is there in this para, that is innocuous para that is there in the budget. So with this, I'd like to go to the first speaker. The first speaker is Mr. Atman Jadon. I hope I pronounced the name right.
Yes, sir.
The COO of Superceuticals Private Limited. He will speak on smart health kiosks. So he's going to show us what you can, imagination of what can be done in the health sector using the increased bandwidth, the capacity of 5G, but also probably, I don't know, I will hear from him, whether he's also going to exploit the low latency capability of 5G, but certainly the ability of 5G to connect vast variety of machines to the network. So over to you, Mr. Atman Jadon. I request everybody else to mute themselves. Otherwise, we're going to have this problem of being booted out of this room again and again. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Very good morning to everyone, all the dignitaries present, all the members of the audience. Let me know when my screen is visible.
You have 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I hope my screen is visible.
Your screen is visible. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi. Very good morning to everyone. My name is Atman. I represent Superceuticals. We're a health tech startup. We're incubated at IIT and we've been supported by DOT. So we're essentially a healthcare company. As ever, all the eminent speakers today gave you an insight into the huge strides that government has made towards the emerging technologies in India to get India to that level of technology readiness and development that we can actually face the world and become a world leader. So I'll be giving you a little bit of insight into the healthcare and how we can improve the healthcare system in our country. So essentially, currently, according to a very recent report by NSSO, more than 20,000 CR is being spent annually by the dwellers of tier 3 cities and rural India in just achieving basic domestic healthcare. This is the domestic healthcare tourism. So this is basically impacted by the high time input that is required due to the inefficiency or the unavailability of the healthcare infrastructure, medical practitioners, technical manpower, lack of doctors, etc., etc. So don't mind that, but that is where we see our opportunity. So to curb that, so currently in a conventional sense, as you can see on the left side, this chart that displays a conventional consultation that a patient incurs while they're feeling sick or feeling down, right? First, the patient goes to the doctor, travels to the nearest collection center when he's given a simple diagnosis to be done. The sample is taken, the sample is stored. Now the sample can be either blood, urine, etc. The sample is delivered to the lab, testing is done, the report is generated, the report travels back to the patient, and then he again has to go to the doctor to get a final prescription, right? Now this entire process works pretty efficiently currently in metropolitans and the cities with high-rise buildings. But as we move down to areas where the buildings are less, there's less infrastructure, to the rural areas where there's farmlands, this entire process, the time taken increases exponentially. Now, all this can be attributed to the lack of manpower, the low doctor to population ratio, high patient turnaround time, high travel distances to the nearest hospital, to the nearest lab, to unavailability of private players in these areas, right? The lack of data, the lack of connectivity. So what is required is a holistic system that can bring these areas, bring these people to the right level of technology readiness, right level of infrastructure, without actually spending a lot, because that is not possible as we're a very, very huge country with a huge demography and a huge geography. So to curb that, we've developed our system. It is called SCAN. It is a kiosk-based healthcare system. Now, SCAN is the one that you see on the right, has the capability to facilitate live consultations with the doctor. Now, this is a very basic teleconsultation that is being done, wherein the patient can just visit the kiosk, can just choose or make an appointment with the enlisted doctors, and can get on with the video consultation. Now, where we carve our niche basically is the diagnosis. Now, the system that you see on the right has the capability to test for over 85 medical practitioners, medical parameters, with the same clinical accuracy as you can expect from any big chain lab like Dr. Lal PathLabs and Metropolis. Now, this profile includes the entire cardiac profile, lipid profile, diabetic profile, all the basic tests that are required to screen a patient to get to the problem of the patient that the doctor can actually, consult for. Apart from this, the entire data is stored, the data is managed, and we've also implicated AI into the system. So essentially, this brings us to a state wherein when a SCAN system can be deployed at a PHC level, at the CHC level, at the base level, grassroots level, wherein each and every person can be benefited from the infrastructure that is available, instead of actually setting up multi-specialty hospitals or a full-fledged laboratory system that actually requires a huge amount of capital expenses and operational expenses. Apart from that, our system also provides the patients and the doctors with a mobile application wherein they can schedule consultations, look at their previous records, update their previous history. The entire data that is generated during these consultations, during the diagnosis from the prescriptions, is stored for the patient to utilize the next time he goes to the doctor, for the doctor to utilize when he sees some other patient the next time, right? Apart from that, we've implicated artificially intelligent algorithms into our system, which actually maps each and every healthcare data point of the patient, as well as the consultancy and the prescription, and creates a healthcare map of the patient's body. So that the next time, or when the patient has some kind of a symptom and he is not able to travel to the doctor as of now, he can actually consult the AI and get some rectifications for the symptoms to elevate the symptoms using naturopathy, homeopathy, etc. And essentially, this entire model reduces the capital and the operational load on the stakeholders, on the government, on the private players, etc. So Kaya, currently we have already started deployments. So currently SCAN can be deployed with the paramilitary forces at the police stations, at the frontline defenders, at PSUs, with the armed forces, at the PHCs and the CHCs to actually help the people in need, to actually help the people who are not able to or do not have that kind of a time or exposure to that kind of a medical fraternity. So this is the basic walkthrough, right? I won't bore you with this. So essentially the technician just signs in, the patient is registered, and there's an entire panel of tests that is available to just choose from, and the test can be done. So essentially this has been designed to, be utilized in areas where you do not have any technical and learned manpower. So all the person that is operating the system needs how to operate a touch screen and follow basic instructions that are available on the screen. Essentially, after this process is done, a report is generated. Now the report that is generated is verified by a pathologist. The entire calibration system of our system are verified by the pathologist, and the report travels back to the patient and to the concerned doctor. This entire cycle of doctor consultation on our system to diagnosis to the final prescription is taken care of within 20 minutes. So essentially, if you're a patient, you do not need to either wait for 12 hours to get your diagnosis reports, wait in lines to get a hold of a qualified medical practitioner. All of this can be achieved within 20 minutes. So our inauguration was done at the 5G launch event at the India Mobile Congress, commercially launched. We've been doing multiple pilots, multiple POCs, we've been visited by multiple dignitaries. These are some of the pilots that we've done. Yes, so currently our system has been deployed at Vidisha, an aspirational district, under the 5G use case. So essentially, we do not require 5G for our current capabilities, but currently we're adding more and more tests to our system continuously. That includes CT scanning, radiology, eye testing, etc., etc. That is where 5G will actually impact the entire lives of people that are present on ground at the grassroots level, wherein they can get the seamless personal experience of the doctor then and there remotely. So currently our system is deployed at Vidisha. What we are looking for, or what we are hoping for from today's webinar, is that we get more and more opportunities to deploy either as a pilot or as a demonstration in various with the various stakeholders in the government sector or in the private sector. And once the benefit of this deployment is visualized, then we can actually scale with that. This is our team. Yes, so that's all from my side. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I need to unmute myself. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Atman Jadon.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we now move on to the next speaker, Mr. Abhijit Patil, who is the co-founder and COO of Ajna Lens. They have been focusing on using AR, VR technology for skill development stations. So stations that actually enable you to learn new skills. And this is very closely related to what I mentioned as one of the capabilities that is possible with the low latency of 5G, which is actually to do remote operations. They might be, let's see if they also mentioned that or have done anything in that regard. So Mr. Abhijit Patil, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Please.
Am I audible clearly?
Yeah, you're audible and you have 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen. I hope it is visible, right?
Yes, you are visible, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Namaskaram all. I am Abhijit Patil, one of the co-founder and CEO of Ajna Lens. So today we will unleash the power of AR VR technology for skill development using 5G technology. So let's talk about one of the problem statement, which is a very big problem statement for India. We have a population of around 140 crore and 90 crore of us are under the age of 35. So that's not a weakness, but that's the strength, I'll say, because we are the youngest country in the world. This was never happened before. This will never happen in future. So this is one of the opportunity we have. and more than 20 crore of this 90 crore are unemployed. But this is not again a problem statement. The problem statement is, despite the fact that India is currently has over 10 crore job openings, we lack of unnecessary skills. So skill sets is the problem, you know. So as we want to solve these grassroots level problems, we gone to the depth of this problem, and then we attempt to bridge the gap by enabling everyone across the globe to upskill using advanced AR/VR technology combined with the 5G. So here we have a solution, Ajna XR. Maybe I'll just do this. Yeah, Ajna XR glasses, which is the India's first mixed reality glasses, which is advanced glasses with affordable price factor and very lightweight and completely made in India. These glasses, if you combine with the world's first Ajna Vidya platform, which is a library of XR trainings across the industries like automobile, aerospace, construction, vocational trainings, driving training, ITI trainings, you know, defense trainings. So this all has hundreds of AR/VR content into training. If you combine these two solutions, we get a physical guided training at half of the cost and 1/4 of the time. We are completely immersed into this metaverse training. The pedagogy which we are using is learn by doing, where we can learn very instantly. Mass training can be possible without an expert trainer. Real-time feedback we can get, and analytics we can get to correct ourselves, and personalized and unique training experience can be possible at our own space. And the best thing is we can save the carbon footprint. We can save the resources here. Oh, sorry. So here we are doing the Ajna XR implementation of the into the India. So we started with Karnataka state, where we implemented Ajna XR session. This is the setup of Ajna XR session, which is industry's most scalable XR training simulator, which has the glasses, which has a computer, which has the actual tools, because we are training people with not with the controllers, with the actual tools we are training, so that they can create a muscle memory. So we are proud to say that 18,000 people in Karnataka state in ITIs training every year into this platform, and because of this, they can train themselves multiple times. They can do multiple mistakes. Every other welding or spray painting, they can get their reports, so they can improve in the next level, and they can spend almost zero resources in welding and spray painting, or maybe fitter or any kind of training they are doing. So we successfully done this in Karnataka state. After the first successful training into Karnataka, we right now implementing into Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Assam also, and few more states we are in talks with them. So overall, with this vision, we already 18,000 people are training into this platform. These are the pictures of all these 18,000 people into ITI vocational training, and 1 lakh people with this all 5 states which I mentioned. 1 lakh people will get trained in 2024. And our aim is to train 10 lakh ITI students in 2027, because these are the people who are going to the industries and as a blue people, right? So they are very important for the industries. We have a vision to augment human intelligence, and we will achieve this vision to transform human lives by building a skill-first world with equal economic opportunities. We are not stopping here. We are also going to the enterprises, because enterprises are something which is adding value to the economy of the country. So we done work with multiple enterprises. Few of them are Vedanta, where we are completely, because mining is a very difficult area to work, right? You can't train yourself into mining difficult area. It's very dangerous. That is why we are training people into the metaverse world, where they can we can train employees for mining on safety and how to use the jumbo drill machine, which is a very important machine into mining, where learning is 80% faster right now. Number of incidents or accidents reduced to 2 per month. Reductions in mistakes happen 50%, and knowledge transfer is very efficient, like 60% improvement. And they are actually doing the mining into the digital twin of the atmosphere. So this is really immersive experience, and they can see the results ROI instantly. We are also working with one of the giants in automobile, which is TVS, where we are training or scaling frontline workers into camshaft and gearbox assembly, where initially they are doing mass generic training. Now they are individual training, personalized training is happening over here. MM level accuracy we can measure into this training. hands-on and immersive training is possible here, because initially they have to capture the shop floor and they have to spend a lot of time on the shop floor, which is also consuming the time of the industry and cost as well. And after every training, we are giving the evaluation or analytics, which help the trainer to do better on the shop floor. So companies can pick the people who are the best into this analytics, and they can only go to the shop floor. So all these kinds of training can be possible into before going to shop floor. The most important achievement or the most important value added is when we are training or upskilling the defense personnel. We are training the defense personnel on the equipments, arms, and ammunition, because every 2 years the defense personnel is shifting their base, right? And that is why training is very much important into defense personnel. And all the new types of equipments, they need to train properly. But as the trainers are not available properly, that is why they can do the guided training. Also, the training can be possible into tanks or ships, or into the naval bases, where it's very difficult to reach the experts, right? So there we can remotely assist, and maintenance, as sir already said, remote training can be possible over here, which is guided training. And 5G will help us because remotely you cannot access the internet. So if 5G is available, then we can easily do the remote assistant and training. So let's talk about the role of 5G into the XR capability. If you see the trend, 1G is for analog, 2G is for digital, 3G is for mobile data, 4G is for mobile broadband. That means today, if I see, there is not a single thing which we cannot do with our 4G and phone capability. But I will say 5G is not only for the phone. The new 5G is for the immersive technologies to do something you cannot do on your phones, even with the 5G. So 5G is specifically meant for the immersive technologies. That's what we believe. And there are two kinds of XR devices into the market. One is a mobile XR, which is reliable, easy to use, standalone. You can take it anywhere, and it's a battery operated, very sleek kind of design, and leverages the mobile ecosystem. And another is a PC-based XR, which is where it's expensive, it's a wired devices, uses the limited location, but it's not limited by the power and thermal constraints. If you combine 5G with these two kind of devices, the possibilities are boundless. We can go to the boundless XR best in class worlds, where we can use the photorealistic content with the mobile XR devices with the affordable headsets. So that's the power of 5G if you combine with these XR devices. And I'll say 5G is the bridge between AR/VR current requirements and the solution. I'll say AR/VR, what exactly AR/VR requirements are there? We need a speed, wireless capacity, integrable and interoperable with other devices, high speed and ultra low latency, superior network reliability, unrestricted mobility with no wired connection, multi-user capability, and enhanced on-device edge capability. And all these requirements can be easily fulfilled with 5G, strong 5G capability, like reduced throughput requirement, ease in handling interactive content, photorealistic content can be easily possible to access, consistent in throughput with uniform experience, and increased security and privacy, and with the edge computing. So if you see, these glasses are right now the headsets form factor, right? But all of this headset can be transformed into the spectacle or glasses form factor only with the 5G or 6G capabilities. Over the next 5 years, all these glasses will be replaced, all these headsets will be replaced with the very small, sleek glasses. And 5G will put a very important role into this transaction. Not even only hardware, but the platforms like Ajnavidya or any kind of XR platform will also go to the next level. Right now, already we are accessing the rich content on the devices, but the photorealistic graphical and visual content, which is a very high-end content, can be easily possible with the 5G cloud or edge computing kind of technology with the 5G connectivity. So 5G will actually break the wall between the accessibility of this content to the rural areas, because if I want to put trainings into rural areas or education into the metaverse into rural areas, 5G will make sure that high-end content can be reached to that level. I'll say the future is not only here where we are using this 5G, but if 5G can be affordable and if it is properly networked to all the areas of India, and if it is a high speed, then future is sky is the limit. You can use these glasses or the platform into invasive surgery, robotic surgery, where medical is the one of the biggest problem, where we can use this expert doctor can be available to the rural areas or any other areas with this technology. Telemedicine, as Prime Minister recently said, that telemedicine is something which we are focusing. So telemedicine can be possible with this technology. Remote repair maintenance can be possible, where people can teleport to the another location. Remote driving, real-time training possible. Right now, drivers requirement is very high into other countries, where India is exporting drivers to the other countries. So there we can train people. And the digital twin. All the industries are wanted to make their digital twin, because of Corona, they understand that digital twin is very much important of their company, so that they can access the industry from anywhere in the world. So this is the future, and many more to mention, because if you see the hardware, it's a really a I'll say a computer on your eyes, which you can go to the next level. India and world are recognizing the effort we are taking in scaling people by technology, with 5G being the future. Recently, we showcased our technology to Prime Minister Modi in IMC 2022. We also got an award into as a best use case in 5G. We recently got an award into CES, which is a global platform, or in USA, where most innovation award we got in CES for our glasses and platform. And we also received an award into business transformation award for employment generation in 2022. And we would like to put our gratitude and thank you to the telecom startup MSME Cell and CDOT and DOT for giving us a connection and giving us a pilot to implement this technology initially across the government. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Mr. Patil. Thank you very much. You can now sign off. I now go to the next speaker. We are going to change gears and talk about agriculture and how meteorological weather stations, mini weather stations, distributed throughout the world, in fact, and definitely across India, will help agriculture, help farmers and other users. The speaker is Mr. Puneet Singh, the director of a company called PESSL, P-E-S-S-L, PESSL Instruments. Mr. Puneet Singh, are you online?
Yes, Professor Bhaskar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And
can you also see the slides?
The slides, so okay. It's over to you, and I'm going to unmute myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and very good afternoon to everyone here. I represent a company called PESSL Instruments, and we are into agriculture. Please let me know if you're not able to see the slides move on the screen, right? So, like I said, we are into precision agriculture. We primarily, if you would look at how industrial revolution has benefited every sector, every aspect of our lives, especially Industry 4.0, which has made the most impact, be it through data, through AI, ML, to robotics, to automation, and what have you. So these are driving changes as and when there is a need. The industry goes through a turbulent time, and then therefore you need to come up with solutions. And some industries benefit a lot more. I mean, if you look at how entertainment industry or travel, logistics, health, education, and all have benefited, especially with the fourth revolution, it is tremendous, right? If you look at agriculture, which was probably the first industry started by humankind, we are yet, right? I mean, there's a lot of fantastic work that happens, but we still grappling with a lot of hard issues with the agri-food industry, right? Immense challenges, which some of you can now see on your slides as well, right? I mean, the population is increasing. How do we grow more food? Land usage is shrinking. The use of fresh water is maximum in agriculture. The use of chemicals or pesticides has degraded soils. We basically need to be making sure that we do sustainable farming. We are contributing to GHG emissions and things like that. So there are huge challenges in the agriculture sector today. Let's talk about India, right? I mean, why just India? In fact, when you look at any nation, agriculture, education, health are the three core pillars for any nation's growth, right? I mean, if you really want any nation to progress, you need to make sure you're taking care of at least these core pillars at all, right? So more than 40% of the Indian population is involved directly or employed by the agriculture sector. I mean, Indian farmers are unfortunately very small holding farmers. We are very different in terms of how we approach agriculture or grow our food compared to the West. Our methods are very traditional in terms of farming practices. The intelligence has been passed on from generation to the generation, right? And therefore, the Green Revolution did help us in a lot in terms of increasing farm productivity. We were able to, achieve food security. While we are probably growing enough, but then there are some indices that show that we are still ranked pretty low in terms of how we feed our citizens or how we are able to kill the hunger crisis in any nation, right? So there's a lot more to be achieved. But let's look at how we have done this through a process where we have degraded our soils. We've used immensely our water tables. The water table is depleting. And overuse.
Instead of online, we don't have much impact. Okay, better to come there.
Right. So, immense use of these inorganic substances has actually caused a lot more damage to the soil. And so how do we take this whole thing back? Now, weather plays a crucial role in agriculture, right? I mean, agriculture at the end of the day is science. You sow a seed, it needs the right environment, pressure, moisture, temperature for the seed to germinate and then transform into a plant that grows food that you harvest and you eat. So if there is no food, there will be no food if there is no optimal climate or weather there, right? So traditional ways are no longer important. What used to happen, let's say a decade back, most of the weather patterns were predictable. I mean, the farmers used to sow in the first week of June, knowing that the monsoons will hit in the second week or late first week, right? So these were the practices that we were following. But come climate change or global warming, things have shifted. I mean, the weather patterns have changed. Rains are delayed, or heat waves or cold waves are hitting us more often. So what used to happen 5-10 years back is no longer happening. And therefore, with climate change and the job of the farmers is getting more difficult. And that's where the entire thing in terms of how do we adopt technology to solve these kind of problems. According to World Bank, and also if you look at the World Economic Forum or FAO, climate smart agriculture is central to any effort, right? I mean, if you want to really solve the problem at the farm level, you need to really understand what's the climate there. That is the key thing. And this is where PESEL instrument comes into the picture. We are a 40-year-old company. I mean, even before the internet existed, even before the term IoT was coined, we were basically building these weather stations that used to collect data at the farm level and then help the farmers with the right kind of data so that they could do the right management practices and therefore be able to ensure that they harvest whenever they sowed a particular crop, right? So that is super important. And this is the reason where you see we are spread across the globe. We have tens and thousands of stations with lakhs and lakhs of sensors, and these are helping farmers do much more better and more better incomes. We truly believe that no one organization can solve the core problems. I mean, these problems are huge. And therefore, we believe in collaboration. And this slide probably captures the very essence of our existence, where we work with the ecosystem players, be it government, be it manufacturing companies, be it insurance companies, be it input companies. More importantly for us, our stations cannot live without telecommunications. So that's where the 4G, 5G connection comes into play. Our stations are basically deployed at a farm level. they need to collect data and push it to the cloud, and for which we need communications, and we rely heavily on our telecom partners to do this. And a lot of sensors, right? I mean, need-based sensors, and we are part of different alliances, be it the LTE or the LoRa and things like that. So our key thing is that ecosystem players have to come together to solve hard problems, and this is primarily in terms of the essence, in terms of how we work in different regions. We have worked in across the globe and in India. What are our solutions all about? At the center of it is all about data at a micro level, the hyper-local weather. This data is super important. So if today, let's say there is a weather advisory, when a farmer receives something like, it may rain in the next 48 hours, what is super important for the farmer is to know if it is going to rain on her or his farm. It is not about raining in a district or a mandal or a state, right? At the end of the day, the crop on the farm that he or she is growing needs to have that rain, and that information is needed. So therefore, we collect data from farm level, and this is then analyzed, standardized, normalized, and then converted into actionable insights. We truly believe that only local data can solve problems. There is so much of variability, different agroclimatic conditions, that you cannot do a copy paste and solve these problems for millions of farmers who are working across the country. So our solutions primarily help bring down the grid level of collecting agrometeorological data, and this is then converted into actionable insights that the farmer can easily understand. This information is then shared with them either through voice bites, through sound bites, or simple text messages, which basically tells them to do this or not to do this based on the weather conditions, based on the predicted weather or the forecast. And therefore, it becomes easier for them to basically use technologies. So they basically are used to using smartphone. Penetration has happened so much where they are using different gadgets and applications. So we use simple methodology to reach out to our farmers, and what are the kind of solutions we give them is when to irrigate and how much to irrigate. This is very precision based. A plant that needs water, to a naked eye, you may see the top dry, but what about 40 centimeters below the soil, right? Is there enough moisture there or not? Are the roots getting enough water there or not? So we help them with that kind of data. Weather directly impacts the pests and diseases that happen to crops. Without the optimum climate, there will be no pest or no disease, right? So we help them predict if there is the optimum time for a particular pest to occur or to appear or a disease to happen. This basically helps them to take the right action. There are a lot of that are followed today where we say, because we used to, my earlier generation used to spray this particular chemical on the 40th day after planting the seed, I should be doing the same. So traditional practices are being shunned today because of data-driven decisions. Just because the progressive farmer or someone who's influential goes ahead and does a particular practice, there is a lot of herd mentality. So we are removing that guesswork for the farmers. We do very local weather, and they're the bias in terms of weather forecasting. Now, weather forecasting today, if you were to look at what's the weather in Gurgaon or in Delhi today, it's very, very subjective, because the weather in a particular part of a particular city or a town or a village is going to be very different from some other place. So the weather forecast is basically built for that particular village. When we provide weather forecast, it is very, very typical. And this really is helping the entire ecosystem. Our system is used by startups, by industry players, by input players, by telecom companies, by insurance companies to basically build better decision support systems to help the farmers. What is really, at the end of the day, happening is what we have done in the last 5 years, at least here, is we've been working with lakhs of farmers. I'll cover that, but more important today is we are helping them to be more successful. We are putting more pocket into the farmers, money into the farmers' pocket. We are helping them reduce on inputs. We are helping them in terms of reducing labor and those kind of data-driven decisions that help them to be, more successful. We are ensuring that they are moving away from calendars that they used to follow for growing crops to a very dynamic calendar, which relies on weather, which keeps changing and shifting, right? We are helping them to use less of water and chemicals, and that therefore reduce the overall GHG emissions or greenhouse emissions and things like that. So there are very ambitious goals that the nation has signed up for, and every farmer has to play a role in this, and we are helping them do that. What's the impact we have had so far? We've basically, like I said, we're working with more than 5 lakh farmers in more than 12 states and 50 plus districts. Some of the numbers on your screen. We also had the good opportunity to show to the Honorable Prime Minister in terms of how our stations or our technology is helping these farmers. In fact, Prime Minister went ahead and interacted with a few farmers online. If you see the second picture at the bottom, he's actually interacting with a woman farmer in Madhya Pradesh, right? So net, we really need to use local data. We need to basically understand hyperlocal weather to solve these problems. So that's all I wanted to present today in terms of the solution that we're working on.
Thank you, Mr. Puneet Singh. Thank you very much. You can now sign off. We'll go on to the fifth speaker in the, the fourth speaker today. Shobhana Udayashankar, who's the CEO of Innogle, will tell us about how she uses 4G and 5G in the domain of fishing, as with a device that aids fishermen in the Indian context. Indian context, fishermen go out in small boats in a group. They don't go on large vessels. Many fishermen in a vessel, they go in several small boats together. And how in that context, her solution helps in improving fish catch, improving safety of the fishermen, how it enables them to be connected to the shore-based network, and so on. So Shobhana, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, over to you now. You have 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me confirm whether we can hear you and see your slides.
Hope my screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you and see your slides. Just go ahead.
Fine. Firstly, thank you for this wonderful opportunity and the great initiation. Myself, Shobhana Udayashankar, founder of Innogle Technologies Private Limited. And we are basically into oceanography deep tech company and also offering a telecom solution for the sea. So would like to point out a few critical things that need to be addressed, especially in India. It's like, what's more precious than life itself, right? Yes. According to ILO's, risk of fisherman life is 25 to 30 times, and the fatality rate is 24K per year when compared to the farmers who are working on the land. Even though most of the industries are bloomed with different emerging technologies, still that is the industry that we need to focus as fishing industry. There is a loss of profitable fishing. According to Worldwide Forum, bycatch or overfishing happening, and the loss was reported globally as $1 billion. And the fishermen don't have a kind of real-time potential fishing zone on the go, and that leads to an expenditure for diesel for them.
Shobhana, your slide is not moving. Kindly check. Yeah, now it is fine.
Okay, fine. So the more critical and a global issue of cross-border issues can also be solved using our solution. So the most critical and the basic thing is like two-way communication on ocean. So that is where we are addressing. Yeah, till dated, we don't have any kind of digital records of fishermen or the ocean workers who are sailing on ocean till dated. And it's very difficult to trace and track where they are in real time. So this is how our solution is. Like, we are presenting our Cadel Compass solution.
Can you put it in a full screen mode?
Yeah, it is there in full screen only, sir. Is that fine now? Can I go ahead like this?
It's okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. So this Cadel Compass solution is patterned of us. Like what we are doing is like it supports nearly 24 unique features, and in offline we can support nearly 13 features. Example, like in real time, we can provide your real time potential fishing zone on the go, and we are providing a life safety in real time, even in deep sea. doctor connects on ocean can be done. The critical thing is achieving the two-way communication between the boats. That is, we are using a 4G, 5G, LoRa as well as SATCOM based on the availability of the network. And this solution will also have, in terms of ocean security wise, we can have the solution for the same. Most important thing is travel path guide, danger point zones in automation, and cross-border issues can also be solved. And this, the uniqueness of the solution is like the fishermen have to throw this particular device on water. This is called underwater device, and this is called cutter compass device. So what will happen is on the go, the fisherman will capture the carpet ocean sensitive data. So you can see this slide. So this is how the technology works. So we are using here a number of technology like M2M. So you can see here, this is the cutter compass device that will be
Again,
fixed on each fish.
your slide has not moved.
Madam,
Shobana,
Okay, I think
Yes,
you are in edit mode.
I think you're
is
in
that
the-
clear now?
No, you want to be in the cuddle compass slide, right? Go back.
I think you shared the different screen. You have to share the screen, which is that presentation screen you have to share.
Yeah, I've shared the
Madam, we have
presentation.
a slideshow plus F5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Go ahead.
I did
Go
already.
back to the. I'm sorry. I think I was the one who misguided you. Go back to the cuddle compass slide. Yeah, previous one. Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Is that visible?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll tell you like how the technology works, then Okay, you can see here, this is how the technology functionality is. The cutter compass device will be fixed on each man's deck. And we are also providing an underwater device that will be thrown by the fisherman on water by tethering a rope or else like through rod. And also that the boat which has fishermen, like they have to wear our life safety watch, that is Rakshava watch you can see here. This needs to be wear by each fisherman. So this ensures to have a life safety in real time. Let's say if someone got missed out on ocean accidentally, what will happen is instead of Coast Guard comes and search for the corpse or the body of the particular person, we have the unique solution, whereas like it saves the life of the person. Whereas let's say if he's out of the boundary of the boat, it will trigger in 20 seconds to trace and track where they are in real time. So in that manner, the colleague of the particular boat, people can save them immediately without the delay of the time. So this is called Rakshava watch. And the uniqueness of this watch is like you can integrate it with any biometric access or authentication of the particular user's data. And this will act as a digital ID for each ocean worker, I would say. So this particular solution can also be used for different use cases, like they can use for the marine fishing, because the underwater device that we are having is, it has number of sensors, which has example, I would say pH, salinity, and it has number of lights, high illuminated lights along with the cameras. We are using AI technology here. So what will happen in real time, the data will be transmitted to the fisher, like whatever the happening in the underwater. So the thing is, similarly, we can use that particular buoyant on ocean to identify the water parameters quality in real time. And you can also use this for cage fishing. And similarly, you can use this for Ganga regeneration, I would say, especially for clean tech. So of course, by implementing this solution, we can save nearly 21 crore ocean workers, including the fishermen and tourist people. And of course, it will achieve the profitable fishing for the fishermen, I would say, which will definitely open up new markets, as this technology is completely new, and it will increase the employment opportunity. The most uniqueness of the solution is we are collecting the carpet ocean data using the USB of fisherman's boat. So what will happen is we are gathering all the ocean data, and that will be transmitting to the specific department whomever required. And this is 100% compliant with global standards, with a sustainable goal of 14, that is life below water, 13 climate actions, 19 industry innovation and infrastructure, and 8 one is like decent work and economic growth. And right now we are in the progress of like partnering with Victoria State Government Australia, and we got a successful achievement with Axtia, that is based on Malaysia, and they are supporting in terms of implementing our product in 7 Asian countries. Of course, our Tamil Nadu also helping us in terms of implementing our project in a piloting manner. We are in the discussion with Rio also for the partnering process. We also have kind of different IPs for the same, like we do have nearly 16 IPs. So definitely this will enhance the import of our country's product to other countries globally. We already tested successfully 5G at IIT Madras, you can see here. And we got number of awards and recognition from different government bodies and institutions. You can see, like we won the most precious IMC award as best 5G deployer award. And you can see some of the photographs, like Navy also appreciated us because this life safety solution is very much needed for them. So this is all about Inaugural. Happy to take your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shobana. Thank you very much. You can now sign out. We go to the fifth speaker now. We have the last two speakers are from our service providers who are rolling out 5G, as I already said, mentioned at breakneck speed. The first speaker is Mr. Girish Dave, who is Associate Vice President, 5G Business Solutions in Jio. He's going to speak on digital societies powered by 5G. And is Mr. Dave online?
Yes, sir, I'm very much here.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let me quickly see whether, whether your screen, are you going to use slides?
Yes, I'm going to flash
them. I want to verify they are visible to everybody.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, we can see your slides. So we can hear you. So you're online. Please go ahead, 10 minutes.
Excellent, sir. So first of all, thank you, Director, Member Technology, Sri Sanjeev Agarwal ji, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy ji, and my fellow panelists and all the dear attendees. It's really a pleasure to be among all of you. And it gives me a unique opportunity to, throw insight about what Jio is doing actually to empower our societies with innovative digital tools. So you would be happy to hear that by now Jio has already launched the 5G services in 277 cities and it is counting. And by the end of 2023, as our chairman Sri Akash Ambani said, that we'll have a blanket coverage of 5G all across the nation. So that is one of the remarkable, achievement we think is unprecedented anywhere in the world. And this is how we are going to be, the enabler of the enabler in the society to facilitate, be it the MSMEs or the living standard of the people in the society. So everything. We understand strongly that, the use cases is not about all creating the, some technological fancy things. It is we totally resonate with our honorable beloved Prime Minister's vision that how we can use the 5G and tools like AI to solve the top 10 problems of the society. So just to resonate on that part, we see the use case development as one of the ways to solve those problems of the society. And I am very happy to announce or say that in the past, at the time of launching the 5G services, we were the one who tried, tested, deployed 25 use cases in a record 100 days of time, and these use cases are counting. And that was at that point in time, we showcased to the regulators, we showcased to the industry bodies, and we showcased to all the stakeholders. And how we really made it happen was not only the play of the Jio, but rather we harnessed the power of the whole ecosystem. We believe in enabling the ecosystem, and hence we included all the application providers. We provided them the connectivity of the 5G. We made them, have those experiences around the 5G, wherein you can achieve the connectivities of extremely low latency, which enables your applications. For example, like our first speaker was saying about, if you have those low latency, the 5G can be the real enabler for the remote health monitoring, specific cases like monitoring the eyes or for the ophthalmologist. So those kind of niche use cases we have allowed our the fellow country members or everywhere to try, test it. And we have the complete facilities at Jio Labs in Mumbai, which is like open to anyone who want to come and, try and see the 5G and test their application and industrialize it. So to that level, we, are cooperating, and we aspire to even go more deeper into that. As I said, that although the number of use cases are very large, but I have specifically, captured at a very high level what we have already implemented, first of all. So nothing is on slide. So we have that ecosystem of our different sister concerns. So we think that these are the use cases what I'm presenting here in a brief matter of, next few moments, without dwelling too much into detail, as my fellow members has already gone quite in details. So these are the use cases which can really have a direct impact on our society, given the fact that we live in a society where still 65% of our population live in a rural India. So this is the use case, we have already implemented what we call it as a connected ambulance. So now this connected ambulance, we are, leveraging the 5G connectivity of low latency. We have industrialized the whole use case by providing the modems, connected on the ambulance which can run at a fast speed, taking the patient during the golden hour from the pickup point to the hospital. Now here, with this connected ambulance, we are allowing the paramedics to share the information about the patients, the critical parameters, this can be, shared with the remote experts, the doctors, who in turn can give the real-time advice to the paramedics who are, not very much as expert as the senior doctors. And at the same time, we have the GPS also, connected on the same ambulance. You can track the position of the ambulance, and by that time that ambulance arrives at the emergency room, based on the criticality of the patient, those emergency rooms can be, be ready with what needs to be done on the particular patient. So the interesting facts about the whole story here is that most of the fatal incidents happens during this golden hour only, from the time when the patient is picked up to the point to the time when they arrive actually at the emergency center. So this can be a big life-saving use case in our society. And given the fact that even in the be it a rural India or be it urban India, this use case has a potential to kind of save a lot of lives, at the same time make the handling of the emergency patients in the hospital quite seamless for the hospitals as well, without creating the chaos. So there is a multiplying effect with this, and this use cases are like, just as you go more deeper into the use cases, you will realize that there's much more to do. So there is no end point to the industrialization of the use cases. The end is like always the improvement, and the improvement forever for that matter. So I'll just go to the next slide again. Okay, I need to just change it. So this is again a connected community clinics, wherein with the help of GeoTrue 5G, we have provided a quality health, especially to the rural India as well as the hinterlands. And with this kind of the connected community clinics, patients in the remote locations can benefit. You can, as a with the help of this connectivity all across the the clinics, you can derive the several trends around the diseases, around the epidemics. You can create the data analytics with the help of the tools like AI, ML, and so on. So this is again, although looks very simple, use can help to predict any kind of the calamity like a pandemic, or depending on the trend we are receiving, creating that database, and connecting those community to share the experiences, share the medical facilities also at that point in time. So again, I am saying that this is just a tip of the iceberg, that as we go deeper into this kind of ideas, the sky is the limit to explore this kind of the use cases. This is just another the snapshot. You can see that the bag, what I showed here. So in this you can see like whatever the key elements which are connected, basically, be it a beat meter or weighing scale or a spirometer or pulse oximeter. So they are all connected, and they can transmit the live measure information, measure data about the patient onto the cloud, to the doctors. They can get the real-time feedback about, in case if there is emergency, they can get consultancy, or they can get the advice from the experts living anywhere in any part of the world, to any patient, be it in a rural hinterland, anywhere. So this is a big boon for our society, where we have 65% of the population still living in the rural India, and helping them get the best medical facilities and on time. Now this is another the use cases of the teleradiology. It is a robotics use case. So we can see like this is, and all these use cases, I'll say that we have deployed live in our Reliance Foundation Hospital, and they are working fine. Many more use cases, and during the times of the COVID, this has been a big boon. So here, this is another interesting use case wherein with the help of this tele, this is a Philips robot, which has basically the ultrasound, sensor attached to it. And this robot can be remotely operated through the haptic device with the help of haptic device by an expert located remotely on a real-time basis. The expert with the help of this haptic device can rock the sensor, can tilt the sensor, can move the sensors on a real-time basis with the help of the extremely low latency that our 5G network provide. And with this kind of facilities, now again the people don't have to move or travel to a long distance for getting the radiology done. So this is another the live use case we have implemented in our Sir HN Foundation Hospital in Mumbai, and it is very much operational. And it has a two-way communication also for both audio and the video for the instant feedback between the expert and at the remote location where the patient is being investigated. Now, another use case with C is that we understand that as a democratic nation, it is equally important that education is a right of every citizen, every child which is born on this on our motherland. And we take this pride that when we launch the 4G services, we have seen the success of people like PhysicsWallah. So it has been on record that this kind of successes has been because of the Jio's 4G launch at that point in time. So now we see many such PhysicsWallahs being kind of coming up as we get into this 5G thing, 5G technology as an enabler of the enabler. For the education, we are even moving one step beyond that, as some of my fellow speakers said, that the problem is not actually the unemployment or the youth of, the 20 crores youth unemployed. The problem is that those youth doesn't have the skills. Now this kind of, the innovative AI or AR, VR enabled ways of teaching, the students can learn very fast. Even the remote, in the rural places or any remote place also, or in any part of the world, you can have the quality education from any kind of, the experts or the teachers from whom you would like to study. You can have the practical, understanding about what you want to study and have the better, clarity of the concepts, what you understand. Because when you do the things practically, we grasp the things 70% more faster than when we are simply, into the reading material. So this kind of, the low latency network can enable, have this holographic, the augmented reality or, and we have the GeoGlass as well, which is an augmented reality device, which can help the students to learn or have those practical exposure to the study materials, to the objects or to the organs or any, you just name it. Be it creating the digital twins or so, all that is very much possible based on, the not only the low latency, because kind of use cases requires a quite good amount of the upload speed as well. That's how you can have the interactive session with your experts, because this 3D diagrams is getting uploaded as well, and you require a good amount of upload speed. And that's where, again, in addition to the 5G latency, the 5G upload speed comes at a rescue. And these are all going to be very, very seamless experience for the students to come. In agriculture, as my fellow colleague said, so I am not covering anything new, but this is all what we have tested. So we understand that agriculture is one of the important contributor to our GDP, almost now 20%, still 40% of our workforce is employed in the farm fields, and we are proud to be an agriculture economy. And now it's a time that we have to, kind of enable these farmers, our fellow farmer brothers, with the technology so that it can improve their life, it can improve their financial health. And hence, some of the use cases we have developed here, and again, they are being deployed also. This is a 5G connected drones with the help of which, beyond the line of sight, the farmers can, have several things like spraying the pesticides or monitoring their crops or spraying of the fertilizers, or all these things they can do beyond the line of sight. So this really helps them increase their productivity, increase the efficiency, at the same time, increase their financial well-being as well. So this is also again, as a Reliance, we have already acquired one company called Asteria. So that Asteria is basically the Indian drone manufacturer. So that's how we are creating that whole ecosystem which can help to drive the use cases for our fellow citizens and take the economy ahead. This is a geocracy solution. It's an end-to-end geocracy solution wherein right from the sensing devices, smart sensing devices, the IoT devices, or the imaging and satellite imaging system, or soil monitoring testing IoT solution, everything is installed on one pole. And this pole is connected with the help of 5G, and all this data is sent to the cloud for the data analytics, for monitoring, and for further extrapolation. And then in the cloud, we have the specialized AI algorithm software with the help of which you can take the preemptive, measures, or you can come up with the right suggestions for the farmers. And then you have this app-based digital platform accessed by the farmers who can access this information and can take the appropriate decisions, can help them, increase their productivity, efficiency, and again, in turn, nevertheless, the financial health as well. This complete industrialized GeoCrish solution that we have created, it is something we have developed with the help of the ecosystem of our partners, and thanks to the the different players that has contributed in industrializing this use case as well. And as I said, this industrialization in this use case is the kind of a continuous process. This another the geo
Mr. Dave, we're running out of time. Can I request you to please wind up quickly?
Yes, so this is just the cattle IoT. So without dwelling too much into detail, so one last point I would like to add here, sir, is that there are one thing is that at Geo we have already started our research on 5G Advanced. So 5G Advanced is about harnessing the capabilities of the 5G, the true 5G network. Why we call it at Geo as a true 5G? Because we have deployed as a core, we have deployed the radio network, and we would be happy to know that all these products are indigenously developed and has been developed in-house in our own country. And at the same time, with the 5G Advanced, we are capitalizing on this native 5G deployment capabilities what we have. And in 5G Advanced, what we are focusing is on the use cases, that what it requires for the use case to have in the network. And accordingly, we are making those development in our network. And as a matter of fact, now Geo is an active contributor to the global standardization bodies like 3GPP, 8C, TM Forum, where the telecom specs are being drafted for the worldwide consumption, and we are one of the leading contributor on those, on the boards of those global bodies. For the 5G, from the government benefits perspective, we think that the G in 5G is also for the great governance, which we are already having under the aegis or under the leadership of our beloved Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And with this 5G and 5G Advanced and beyond the coming 6G, we will see, that creating that digital first approach in the mindset, nevertheless, that we create the digital only thing as the, only thing, but we create the digital first approach to make 5G and forthcoming technology the enablers of the enablers, so that we can achieve our vision of 21st century of being a developed nation by 2047. So that's it from my side, and thank you so much for your kind attention. And I'm open to any questions, and till that time, I'll go on mute.
Thank you, Mr. Dave. And we now go to the last speaker for the session. We will hear from Mr. Naisarg Pandya, who represents Airtel. He's a senior 5G and new technologies in Airtel. He'll talk about in a very similar theme, which is the benefits of 5G for society. Mr. Pandya, are you there?
Yeah, hello, sir. Hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, your screen is visible and you're audible. So please go live, and you have 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. So right now we are speaking about how 5G will actually ease our lives. Okay, I will speak about three aspects. Okay, first of all, how 5G is helping the common man, okay, how the life of the common man is getting changed with the launch of 5G, okay, and how it is helping the emergence of the new business. Okay, there is a lot of new business opportunities which are actually getting created with 5G. And thirdly, I will speak about how the 5G is actually helping the environment ecosystem, okay, in terms of less carbon footprint. Okay, and also I will be actually showing the use cases which 5G is able to support. Okay. So hope my screen is visible. So firstly, I will talk about the capabilities of 5G, as most of you are already aware 5G is capable of very high uplink and downlink speeds. Okay, it offers a very better spectrum efficiency, low latency, massive capacity to connect millions of devices together. Okay, the energy efficiency of 5G is almost 90% more than 4G. Okay, and it is also able to support network slicing and continuous connectivity during mobility. So 5G is actually going to have a positive impact on almost all the industries, okay, which is the healthcare, agriculture, education, media, entertainment, logistics, automobile, each and every industry, you name it, and you'll have to have a positive impact on each of these industries with the help of 5G. So in terms of how it is going to change the life of the common man, okay, so as you know, like during the COVID phase, like most of us were working from home actually. Okay, and do you think this kind of scenario, working from home remotely, would have been possible 20 years back? Like if the COVID had occurred during like 2001, 2002, during that phase, do you think we would be able to, the economy would be able to survive this crisis? This is only possible with the advancement in the technology. Okay, the 4G, 5G, this advancement in technology is actually helping the people to work remotely from anywhere. Okay, it is actually helping the companies to save a lot of cost in terms of the property rentals. Okay, there is also lot of less vehicles, okay, on the roads, okay, which is because people are working remotely. Okay, all this kind of things are only possible with the advancement in the technology, because 5G is able to support very high download and upload speeds. Okay, so the life of the common man is actually getting benefited with the advancement in technology. Okay, apart from that, how 5G is actually supporting the and powering the other technologies. Okay, like for example, you have IoT and edge computing. These are very popular technologies nowadays. Internet of Things, as you say, IoT, each and every device will be actually connected via internet in few years down the line. Okay, and to support all such massive connectivity, we require a technology like 5G, okay, which is able to support massive number of connections. Okay, it is also able to power other technologies like edge computing. Okay, for example, you have 1,000 employees working in a company. Okay, how many of them have actually not put up a mask? Okay, you want to identify immediately. Okay, like this kind of collecting information, okay, and then processing at locations closer to where it was generated. Okay, this type of analysis is able to support with edge computing, and you require very low latency and very high actually connectivity speeds. Okay, this is possible only with the help of 5G. Okay, apart from that, 5G is actually helping in emergence of the new business opportunities. Okay, as I would be actually describing in detail in the future slides, how it is the use cases are getting benefited, okay, in each and every industry, right from entertainment to tourism to smart cities, health, education, agriculture, and security. All these industries are going to benefit, okay, with the help of 5G. Apart from that, optimal mobility. Okay, 5G is actually going to help us in predict, okay, the traffic flow conditions, the road conditions, the weather information. Okay, and that will actually help to possible to generate optimal vehicle journey when somebody is like say traveling by car. Okay, so this can actually help to avoid numerous traffic lights and reduce the possibility of accidents. Okay, so this kind of things were never actually thought about before, but now these things are becoming a reality, okay, with the help of 5G. It is also going to actually renovate the teaching methods. Okay, even in rural areas, okay, you will be able to introduce through AR and VR systems, practical learning methods will be available for the students. Okay, in the fields of medicine, okay, in the fields of archaeology, okay, to analyze the historical sites or other artifacts. So very innovative teaching methods are going to be possible, okay, with the help of 5G. Okay, apart from that, it is actually going to support increased security, because each and every device, okay, it is going to be connected via internet, and then you can identify the risk or the threats in the real time. So this is how it is going to actually have improved security also. So in this way, 5G is actually going to benefit our day-to-day day life. Okay. After that, actually, I'll be talking about how 5G is going to help for the business opportunity. Okay, like as already mentioned before, remote working. Okay, this is actually very possible nowadays with the help of the advancement in the technology. The offices are actually going to save a lot of money on the property rental and the office equipment. Okay, because the remote working is now a reality with the help of 5G. AR and VR. Okay, AR and VR is going to be used in each and every industry like retail, entertainment, tourism. Okay, for example, you want to visit a particular place in Europe. Okay, through AR and VR, actually you can help the customer visualize in a real time. Okay, how that particular city of Europe is going to be like, how the experience is going to be like, and with the help of this kind of things, you can actually boost the opportunity in the tourism industry. Okay, for example, you want to buy a new property. Okay, you can actually through AR and VR help the potential customer to visit the construction site in real time, how your flat is going to look like, okay, after it is made. So these kind of things are going to be possible with AR and VR. Okay, rural innovation, as you can see, like with the advancement in technology, most of the Indian people who are actually residing in the rural areas, okay, they will be actually help to continue residing in rural areas and avoid overcrowding. Okay, and it will actually reduce the urbanization. Okay, because through online services, okay, we can able to connect all the citizens which are located in the rural areas, and this will help to avoid the overcrowding. Okay, in the urbanized cities. Okay, so this is going to offer the endless opportunities for the people residing in the rural areas also. And apart from that, the transport and the logistics. Okay, the transport and logistics, it is going to impact in a big way. Okay, the way the goods are produced or distributed. Okay, the logistics cost is going to reduce by from almost 13 to 14% presently to almost 5%. Okay, apart from that, we are going to have a huge cost saving in terms of the energy efficiency. Like as I was speaking before, 5G is 90% more energy efficient compared to 4G. Okay, and it is actually going to extend the battery life of the low power massive machine type communication IoT device. Okay, this type of low power MMTC devices are actually placed in a lot of industries, and they are actually having the requirement of a very long battery life, and this kind of thing is possible only with the help of 5G. So in the next slide, I will be actually explaining why 5G is more energy efficient. Okay, so as I mentioned before, 5G is 90% more energy efficient in terms of 4G, and it will actually going to reduce the energy consumption per unit of traffic. Okay, like you want to transmit X amount of data. Okay, so the energy consumed, okay, that is a watt per Mbps, is actually going to improve with the help of 5G. Okay, like for example, 1 kWh of energy electricity is going to be consumed for downloading 300 HD definition movies with the help of 4G. So now with the help of 5G, you can actually use the same 1 kWh of electricity to download almost
Pandya ji,
5,000
sorry to interrupt
HD
you.
movies.
Pandya ji, sorry to interrupt you. In the interest of time, kindly conclude.
Yeah. So this kind of energy efficiency is possible, okay, with the help of 5G, and because we have less number of reference signals. Okay, as you can see, the 4G, there are continuous reference signals. The power amplifier is almost on for 50% of the time, but in 5G, it is almost on for only 5% of the time. So 5G is more energy efficient, and it is actually going to reduce the global carbon emission footprint by almost 15% by 2030. Okay, so apart from that, now I will be talking about the payload growth. Okay, as you can see now, the payload of this is for India. Okay, now we are at 10 exabyte. Okay, this is almost going to reach 50 exabyte by the end of 2027. So the payload is going to increase by 5 times. Okay, so almost 60% of this data traffic is going to be contributed by 5G. Okay, and data, as you know, is the new gold. Okay, right from the small time T vendor who is offering now payment option via the UPI, or you have a very big car manufacturing plant is going to have a network connectivity, okay, to identify paint defects almost instantly. Data traffic is actually going to be used by each and every citizen of the country. So data is our new gold. Okay, so this is how 5G is going to help advancement in our data traffic. So now I will talk about the use cases. This is nothing new. I'll just reiterate what most of the participants have shared before. In the healthcare industry, now we have connected ambulance. Okay, now 5G is with the help of 5G, you can have real-time monitoring of the patient's vitals, and actually the doctor can examine these vitals and give the consultation almost instantly. So this can help to save more lives. Okay, this is the benefit of 5G in the healthcare industry. Now I will talk about the automation in the factories. Now you can see the number of inventories, humongous inventory is present in all these factories. Okay, and it is difficult to manage them manually. Okay, so with the help of these drones, okay, which are actually powered by 5G, it is able to scan the QR codes almost instantly and without any manual intervention, and leading to less probability of human error. Okay, this is how 5G helps the automation in factory. Now we talk about the VR education. Okay, and now with the help of the metaverse, okay, and AR VR, we are actually able to offer a very advanced and innovative learning methods for the students. Okay, and this is how actually it is going to improve our learning and education system also. Apart from that, smart agriculture, okay, we are actually able to monitor the crop health in real time, okay, with the help of the 5G. Now, with the help of the cloud gaming, okay, the enhanced real-time gaming experience is possible without any delays or lags. Again, this is help with the help of 5G. Connected card, FITT 360-degree overview with the help of 360-degree cameras. Okay, this kind of use cases which are never heard before. Okay, these are all possible with the help of 5G. Okay, now I will be talking about tourism industry. As I said, holographical view. This is possible to view the tourist destinations in real time through AR VR projections. And sports and entertainment, you can see multi cameras views are available to like you are sitting in a stadium and you can view the match almost in real time. Okay, sitting at your home. So all these cases are able to possible with the help of 5G. And lastly, I would like to say that Airtel is now live in almost more than 80 plus cities in the country. And we have almost 10 million subscribers who are live on 5G and enjoying the benefits of 5G. So we at Airtel actually, we also plan to cover almost each and every town and even in rural areas by the end of 2023. And this is how we actually help to grow as a nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We're sort of behind in time, so let me, I'm going to have very few questions. I know many people have questions lined up, but I'm going to have to restrict the number of questions to just a few. We will start with Prashant Jain, who wants to, I think, ask a question on the ocean application. Mr. Jain, please go ahead, and I hope Shobana is available to answer the question.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Prashant Jain. I'm from Tejas Networks Limited. So we are a telecom equipment company working in the field of wireline and wireless. So we are already a part of our Tata Group now. My question is
Others, please mute yourself. I request everybody else to mute themselves, please. Go ahead, Mr. Jain.
Yeah. So my question is like, so how your solution can be used by the security agencies to safeguard our oceans or the seas along with the, the fishermen? And in continuation with that, are you already part of any government scheme or certain projects, or you can be part of such type of schemes?
All right. Thank you for the question, sir. Actually, talking about the life safety, till date, we don't have any kind of solution. I would like to point out this because this is must and should need for each and every ocean worker. And how this solution will be interlinked with the security agencies, I would say, like we can distribute our watch to them so that they can also feed the particular ocean or fisherman's workers details over there in the watch so that they can distribute. So they'll be having a record for the same. So whenever they are sailing it, they can see there in the dashboard, like whomever sailing on ocean. This can be done easily. So, and talking about the scheme, I would say, like right now we do have PVMMY, that is Pradhan Mantri Madhya Samash Yojana. So that scheme where which supports especially for the security agencies, which supports this kind of life safety solution, especially for the fishermen at sea.
You're already part of the scheme and
Yes, we are in the process of it, sir, actually.
Thank you very much. We have quite a few participants raising their hand, but I'm going to have to be cruel here. I'm going to select only a couple more because we're running out of time. We have to assemble for the 2 o'clock session, plenary session with the ministers. So the next person I would request is Mr. Sambit Swain. Can you please ask your question from GX?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Sambit from GX India. We are a company into FTTH GPON. And so my question would be to Mr. Abhijit Patil. So what do you think about the industries this extra training can be used in the government agencies, or which industries you think this can be used for?
Correct. Thank you for this question. I'll say the industries or the departments, government departments, there is no restriction, because if you see this XR hardware, this is nothing but the holographic computer on your eyes. So whatever you can do with your computers, you can do in a 3D holographic way in this way, right? So computers are used in the unlimited areas right now. You know? And if you see the platform which we are developing as a Vishwa Guru kind of university, where all the trainings and skilling is available, in all the industries, either it's a private industry or government industry, training is required, either a soft skills or the hard skills or maybe any kind of skills. So frankly, there is no limitation on this thing. So in Dubai, one of the company, we are giving the soft skills in the virtual reality. You know, in India, we are giving the hard skills to the enterprise, which I told, right? So in government organization also, there is no limit. So all this platform and the hardware, it can be used in training in multiple organizations like construction, automobile, real estate, aerospace. Recently, we are working with the Maharashtra election committee, where we are skilling their election commissioner about how to vote. What is the procedure of the voting machine, you know? And they are training to the people of India, you know, in future. So like that, this kind of training is also happening in metaverse. So frankly, there is no limit on the areas. Wherever training is there, this can be useful, you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to have to restrict it to just one more question. Is Rajesh Tuli there?
Yes.
Can you please ask your question? You're from Coral Telecom. Please ask your question.
Thank you very much.
I want to apologize to the others who have raised their hands. We just have to end up at 1:15 because otherwise we're not going to be able to be back in time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My question is to Atman Jedin. It was a pleasure listening to your presentation. Excellent presentation on healthcare technologies, which can have far-reaching impact. But I believe robotics, M2M, IoT, AR, VR applications will make the whole process more complex and expensive. Now, how do you see this technology reaching and impacting the grassroots level Indians in the villages? And how long do you think would it take before it becomes an actual reality in our villages?
Thank you for the question, sir. So basically, from my perspective, the deployment of 5G, deployment of proper robotic surgery, etc., that will definitely take time. But when we talk about the basic, providing basic healthcare to the people in these areas at the grassroots level, that can be deployed as in real time. That can be done right now. That is what we're working on. We've currently associated with NHM. We've currently, associated with multiple government schemes. We're trying to approach multiple state governments, and we're being supported by multiple departments, especially DOT, right? They're assisting us in receiving multiple pilots. So I would say that this is actually the way forward, and this is actually helping us, build a better nation, build a more healthier nation. So yeah.
Thank you.
Just one moment, Professor.
Yeah, I now hand it back to the member. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy. I would like to ask our participants and panelists as to how the lab we are creating, 100 use case labs, that is going to benefit the common person, common citizen. We can have just a few minutes discussion on this. Thank you.
So I believe the biggest challenge that any startup or any person that is coming up with an innovative idea or any idea per se, or any business proposition faces is the conception of that idea. The from ideation to the validation stage, wherein I suppose these labs would actually provide a huge help with the mentorship, with the assistance, with the facilities, with the infrastructure. So I believe that is a very good step. That is a very, potentially groundbreaking step in developing new technologies and bringing them to the market.
I would just like to add that I would say foundation where you could come up.
Yes, please. You're muted, I think. Your voice is not there. Niji?
Can you hear me? No.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying that this is a fantastic foundation where the young generation and they can come up with next breakthrough idea. There are lots of challenges that need solutioning. This is the best opportunity to come up with an idea. If you have, there will be failures, but this is the best way to fail fast, learn quickly, come back, redo your designing or your it could be any of those strategies or product or whatever, and then go and help solve the problems, because there is no one solution that'll be able to solve the problem. So you will need grassroots level innovation to happen. This is a great opportunity for those ideas to flower.
I completely agree. As a startup, we also born in our college, IIT Bombay, in dormitory of IIT Bombay, and the college atmosphere gives us a base to encash the resources into the ecosystem. So these 100 labs will definitely change the entrepreneurship era, where all these kind of resources, because similar kind of mistakes we can avoid, these people can avoid, which others are doing. So this ecosystem will help them to avoid those mistakes and grow faster than the others. So yeah.
Thank you.
So added to that, I would like to point out a few things about this 5G lab. So talking about myself, I would like to share a few experience about this 5G, I would say. We tested our 5G, our 5G product at IIT Madras, and this was supported under Department of Telecommunications. The thing is, the technology talking about 5G is completely new to us. So at last, we achieved it through the help of DOT and through the help of IIT Madras. The thing is, we have to establish the 5G labs in a proper infrastructure with the knowledgeable domain people. That will definitely help out in terms of achieving the 5G use case in a better way, especially for the startups. I would say it's such a good initiative, especially for the applications or for the use case. Thank you.
Thank you. So in the end of the session, I would like to thank all the panelists for sharing their views and their ideas on the 5G labs along with their 5G use cases. I'd like to thank Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy for moderating the sessions in a timely way. We'll have to rush to the next session of closing plenary session. So thank you all. Thank you all the participants for this fourth session of this breakout session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
Thank you so much.
Professor will join at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, we will join it.
All the panelists.
Sailing, right?
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.